everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this amazing pop-up sunflower card. This is a card that's just become available on Cricut Design Space in the projects section. We do know, don't we, that Cricut's instructions can be slightly ambiguous and very difficult to follow. So I thought I'd put together a video to show you how to make this card rather than trying to follow the instructions. I have done a couple of other pop-up cards before because the instructions were so difficult to follow, and I really like making these cards. So this one is going to be for my niece. It's her birthday, so she's going to love this. She's got a Cricut Joy herself, so I think she'll really enjoy receiving this card as well. So without any further ado, let's jump straight in. Before you start this project, you are going to need some cardstock in various different colours. You're going to need a scoring wheel, either the 02 or the 01 will be fine. If you don't have a scoring wheel, you can actually use a scoring stylus, or you can remove the scoring lines completely and just do them manually yourself. You're going to need a couple of pens and some tacky glue as well. So this is a really simple project that doesn't really take up very much materials. Let's find the project in Cricut Design Space now then. So if you go onto your blank canvas and just go over to the left hand side to projects, and then all the different projects that are in Cricut Access will come up onto the screen. And as you can see, the sunflower is a relatively new one, so it's right in the middle of the screen at the moment. When you come to do it, it might be a bit further down, but if you can't find it there, what you can do is go to search projects and just type in pop-up. And then all of the different pop-up projects will come up on your screen. So you've got all the different cards and things that are on Cricut Access here. Don't forget, if you are not a Cricut Access subscriber, there may be a small charge to use this project, but in my opinion, it is well worth it. And don't forget, you can get your 30 days free trial as well, and you'll be able to make this project using that. So once you've got your project on your screen, if you just click on it, you'll get this as your next screen come up, and this just shows you what the project looks like. It shows you the sizes, it shows you what you'll need to make the project, and it also does have the instructions just there as well. So once you're happy with all of that and you've gathered together all of your materials, if you click on customize, and that card will now transfer onto your canvas ready for you to resize. The project comes into Cricut Design Space in quite a large size, so what you'll need to do is check the size that you want your card to be made up at, and then maybe resize your design on the screen. So first of all, I'm just going to zoom on the bottom left hand side down to 25%. Then I'm going to go over to shapes and get myself a rectangle. And this is just a really easy way of just checking the size of how your card is going to come out. So what I do is just rotate that rectangle 90 degrees, and then I just stretch it out. I think about, looks like it's going to be about 12 centimetres. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this card is going to be roughly 12 centimetres by 18 centimetres, which is fine for me. So I'm happy with the size that card's going to be, so I can get rid of that rectangle. If you wanted to resize this, what you would do is make sure that everything is selected. So go over to the right hand side and just make sure that everything is grey and all highlighted and grouped together. And then what you can do is just use this drag handle to stretch the box that's got all the elements of the project in it, and this just ensures that every piece is resized uniformly, so it's all going to fit together properly. If it was ungrouped and you were resizing everything individually, you're going to find it really hard to make it so that everything fits together. And then just grab yourself another shape and just check your sizing again and make sure that you're happy with it. If there's any parts of the project that you don't want to use in your finished project, you can ungroup now, and then you can just select which piece you don't want. And I don't want this envelope because I'm going to use a ready-made one. So I can just select it and just hit delete, and that's gone now. And then you can regroup it together again if you wish. So just go over everything and group together again. And I find that that just stops me from inadvertently resizing or changing things that I don't mean to do. Once you're happy with the sizing of your card, all you need to do is just go through to make it. So now the Cricut has arranged all of the mats into the different colours that are in this particular design. So if you're using 12 by 12 pieces of card, then this will be great for you. But if you're using an A4 piece of card like I am, you'll need to change your material sizes here on each mat through to A4. So I'm just going to do that first of all. That should be fine, I think. Let's just change it anyway and see what happens. That's fine. Same with that, same with that. And then this one here at the bottom, we need to change that as well. So those are all ready. So we're going to start off with this one. So I've just set up my mat with the card at the top of the page here, and then on screen, as you can see, it's got that lovely sunflower design on the card. So I'm going to be using a green pen today for that. This is one of the zebra pens that I bought from Amazon. They come in a pack of 5 or 6 in different colours, and they fit into the Cricut straight away without any adapters or anything like that. So I think these are brilliant. So I'm going to show you how to pop your pen into the machine, just in case you're not familiar with that now. On the Cricut then, you've got 2 clamps. You have clamp A and clamp B, and clamp B is where your blade sits, and this is the blade that we're going to be using for the most part today. We are also going to use the scoring tool as well. So what we're going to do first of all is just get our pen, take the lid off, open up clamp A and just pop the pen into clamp A. You don't need to push it down too far, and then just close your clamp up there like that. Now what we're going to do is insert our mat, so that's ready to go. Now on the screen we need to select continue. Just need to wait for the computer to find the Cricut machine, and then I'm using quite a heavy cardstock. I'd say it's in between medium and heavy cardstock. So I'm actually going to choose the glitter cardstock setting for this, because it will do 2 passes on the cutting and it will cut through this card absolutely no problem at all. So I've selected glitter cardstock. I'm leaving my pressure at the default, and then on the second point here it says tools and material loaded, and we need a dark green pen and fine point blade. So we've already got the pen into the machine there. Because we've already got the pen and the mat loaded, all we need to do is hit the flashing C and just let the machine do its drawing, and then it will do its cut automatically once it's finished the draw. The machine's finished its cut then, so before we unload the mat, what I would always suggest you do is just very carefully lift up on a corner, or lift up your piece of cardstock at the corner and just check that your machine has cut successfully. If it hasn't cut completely, you can just press the C button again and it'll just do the exact same process again. But if you eject your mat, you won't be able to insert it back in and have it be in exactly the same position. So your draw and your cut would be slightly off where you want it to be. So we're happy with that cut, so let's just eject the mat. And what I'm going to do is just carry on and go through all of the different mats and cut everything out, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to start assembly. Once you finish doing all the cutting of all the different mats, this is what you should be left with. The only piece that I didn't cut was the envelope piece, because I'm actually going to use a pre-cut envelope for this card, so I didn't bother to cut that out. So you should have a leaf section, 3 flowers, several different black pieces, your insert piece which has got the sunflowers drawn on it as well, 2 creamy coloured pieces with one with a score line all the way around, and then the main body of your card. So the first thing to do is just pop those pieces to one side for now, and we're going to concentrate on these flower pieces to start with. So what you'll want to do is get the biggest flower piece, so you'll need to just put them together and just see which one is the largest. So this is the largest one, this one is the medium, and then this one is the smallest one. So what we're going to do first of all is just bend along the score lines that you've created on your machine. If you haven't used a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus, just manually score them using a ruler and one of your Cricut weeding tools or a pair of scissors or something like that. They don't have to be scored using a scoring wheel or a scoring stylus. So just give them a nice fold across there, and then you've got the tabs here as well. So we just want to fold the tabs and just give them a little bit of manipulation just to make sure that they're going to fold in how we want them to. Now we need to get our green leaf section, and this is this one here, and you should have this so that it's got some drawn lines on it as well with your pen, and your Cricut will have done that for you as well. Once we've run across the score lines of the first flower, we're going to get our leaves and just give them a little fold down that score line as well that we've created on the machine straight down the centre. Once we've done that, we're going to get this one that we've prepared. This is the largest one of all of the flower pieces, and we're going to get our tabs and put them in the outermost slice on here. So just pop that into there, and then pop this one again into the fourth hole there, and you can see how that is on the top, and then I'll show you what it looks like underneath also. So if you look underneath, that is what you'll have sticking through from the other side. What you'll need to do now is fold back your tab, and then we're going to just pop a little bit of glue onto there. I'm using tacky glue. You can use whatever adhesive you like. You could even use tape for this if you wanted to. You don't have to use a glue. Okay, once you've got that on there, you need to fold that away from the other lines so that when we put the other pieces of sunflower through here, we're not covering up the holes that those are going to come through. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a couple of minutes. Now we need to get the medium flower piece, which is this one here. And we're going to do the same and fold across those score lines first. And then again bend the little tabs that are on the inside there of your sunflower. And we're going to work inwards now. We want to put these tabs into the next line available on there. So just lift it up carefully and just pop that through that tab there. And then we'll do the same for the other side. So I'm just holding that behind with my other finger just to make sure that it doesn't come out. And then again, just pop that through the third line on there. Just flip it over again, and we're going to stick the tab down in the same fashion that we did with the first one, and just fold it over and hold it for a couple of seconds until it's stuck. So then we're going to get the tabs on our third piece and just pop them into the next available slot on the green leaf piece, and again on the other side as well. So now we've got 3 pieces in place, and we're going to glue the back again in the same fashion that we did before. So on the back now you'll have this sort of arrangement, 3 tabs all folded back onto one another. Next you're going to want to glue your tabs together on your flower pieces. So just pop a small amount of glue onto that tab and just line it up there with your side piece on the other side of your petal, and just give that a little hold until that's dry. Once that one's dry, you can do the same thing with the flower petals behind. Just add a small dab of glue and line up your flower, and then hold it until it's dry. That is the first part of our flower completed. The next part that we're going to assemble is the black center piece, and what you'll want to do first of all is just fold these tabs back on themselves along the score lines. Next, you're going to get your flower, and these tabs here are going to go into the last remaining slit that's on your leaf piece. So if you just hold your card and get your tab and just pop it through that little hole there, and again on the other side, and this forms the outside of the center of the flower. So if we just turn it over again, we're going to repeat what we did with the yellow ones and just glue that back on itself there, and we'll just do the same on the other side and just fold that back on itself and hold it in place until dry. Once your back pieces are dry, turn it over, and you'll want to just pop a small amount of glue onto this tab here, and then once that's on there, just attach that to this side of the black piece. It's easier to do this if your card is flat on your desk. This is how it should look once you've glued that part together. Next, you want to get these two black pieces, and we're going to interlock these together to make a frame to put the center of our flower together with. So what we're going to do is just bend these along the score lines in the centers, and then we're going to put them together using the slots that are already cut with your machine, and you're just going to pop this end onto this end, and then you've got this shaped piece created with those two pieces. Next, you'll want to pick up the two larger pieces of the black semicircles, and this is going to create the center of our flower. And what you'll want to do with these is just crisscross them against each other. So one's got a slit in the bottom, don't know whether you can see it, but one's got a slit in the bottom, one's got a slit in the top. So if you just put the top and the bottom together, and it will create a cross that looks like this, and then this goes onto this frame, and it just creates a cross as well in the center. So we're just going to attach the end slit to the center one on this side, and the same on this one with the center. I'll try and show you this in a second once I've done it, so you can understand how it works. We've created a sort of square with these pieces that we've put in, and you can see how it has gone together with the end slits just sitting inside one another like that. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to get the other 4 of these and you're going to pop them in as well. So you want the one, they're very hard to pick up, you want the one with the bottom slit in it to go along here. So let's just pop that in the top. And that just sits in there. And then again, I'm going to get the one with the bottom slit in it as well. And I'm going to pop that one across the top here. Okay, so now it should look like this. Then you'll get your last 2 pieces, and they are going to just sit across the tops here, because you can see this piece here and this piece here has just got lots of cuts out of it, and this piece has lots of cuts out of it, and they just nestle together on top of one another. It is a bit fiddly to get this part to fit together because you are moving 2 or 3 pieces at the same time to try and get it to fit, but it will fit. Just persevere and take your time. There is no rush. And then you'll do the same with this piece as well. So there's our finished lattice piece, and that's how it will look once it's done. Now we need to put these pieces onto the centre just to cover up the green. So if we just put a little bit of glue around the edge here, and we're just going to pop it into that space. I'm just being careful that we're not going to cover up that score line down the centre, because the card needs to fold using that. So we're just going to pop a bit more glue onto this piece and pop that back into there. And now we have these pieces which need to go through the slots that we made for the 4th piece, which has also got this piece through it as well. So if we just slide that into there, I'm going to show you from the back how it's going to come out, so you can see it coming through there. And then what we're going to do is just very carefully pull it through on the other side as well. Okay, so I've just popped that through there now, and I've got the 2 tabs from the one side and the 2 tabs here from the other side, and again they just need to be glued down. So let's just pop some glue on the backs, and we'll just pop those down and just hold that in place again until that's dry. So from the front now, your sunflower will look like this, and you've got all of your centerpieces in place, you have got your flowers in place and your leaves. The next step is to make your card. So all you need to do is fold across the score lines that you've made on your green card or whatever colour card you're using. And then once that's folded, we can glue our insert pieces inside. So this is the one that has the score line all the way round, and we're just going to put glue quite close to the edge, just making sure that we're not going over that score line, so that when we put our insert card in it, it isn't going to struggle to get in there and be too big. Just glue that into place, and then we've got our other piece. Again, we're just going to glue that around the edges. If you do put more glue on it for the centre, just be aware of your aperture piece that you've cut out, and make sure that it's not going to go over that and ruin it by coming through onto the other side. Just line up your card pieces so that they're nice and flush with the top of one another. Once your insert pieces are in, you can now pop your sunflower in there. So the best way that I've found to do this is to glue one side down and then put the glue onto the other side and fold it so that it keeps it in the right place, and we know that it's going to allow the card to fold properly. So I'm going to just pop my glue on all of my green pieces, and I'm going to get quite close to the edge, and I'm going to use quite a bit of glue on here. Not necessarily a massive amount, but I'm going to spread it out nicely and make sure I've got every piece of my green leaf card quite well covered, so that it's going to hold that piece down really well. We want to try and make sure that the piece down the centre, the actual fold line, doesn't really have any glue on it as well, because then it allows that bit to just move on the card and not fold or anything like that. So what I do next is I fold my card up, and I just line up my centre of my card with that line, and then just press it down, and I can just check that I've got it straight just by looking at it this side. So you can see that's nice and straight. If I just fold that over now and press it, that's going to hold my green piece in place. Now I'm going to just do the glue onto this side of the card as well. Now what I'll do is just fold my card over and just press down those pieces. That's perfect. So once we've put our glue on, just give it a good press down and just make sure that it's nicely stuck together. And what we can do now is write our message onto here, and then that just goes inside there, ready to be given to the person who's receiving it. Perfect. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love to see you for the next one. So don't forget to subscribe, drop me any questions, comments that you might have in the comment section down below. And let me know if you have enjoyed this video by hitting the thumbs up button. It would be great to know if you have learned something new. I'm just going to write this card to my niece, and then I'm going to pop over to their house and give it to them. So all that's left to be said now is have a great week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye!